We come to this.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Let them come.
And we're finally back, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode of what we watch in the month of, this time talking about everything that we watched in March of 2024. And we're going to probably pick up with a few conversations that we had to cut short last time. But joining me today is my co-host, Josh D. Woodbury.
What's up, everyone? We're back. There's a few movies that I watched this month. Spent most of the time playing a little game that Evan knows about too, so maybe we'll talk about that then. We'll see. But yeah, good times. Also, saw a little indie movie.
Little teaser for later.
No wonder he kind of liked that movie. He kind of bought his career with it. Glad to be back. Yeah, March was kind of like the first big month of 2024.
Finally, some good shit.
In terms of like movies, TV, even for me, books. So it's like a lot of great stuff happened in March. So a lot of good stuff. Not a lot, but like a lot of like big major stuff that we can talk about and have fun with. So yeah, there's that.
All right.
Where should we start?
I don't know.
We could start. I just finished watching a little film that I just saw you guys both watched, so I said fuck it. Last night I started it up.
Is it Lift?
Roadhouse.
Huh?
Roadhouse?
It is Roadhouse, yeah.
Oh, okay. Thoughts?
You know what? I didn't hate it.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I thought the acting was fucking terrible most of the time. Script
Jake.
bad, but the camera work was really cool. I thought a lot of the fight sequences were done really well. Doug Liman's direction was it's Doug Liman, so it's not terrible. I thought it was decent. I don't know. I think
it's a pandemic movie.
No, God.
Yeah,
It's pandemic.
true.
What was that called?
yeah, I was watching.
That was the other one.
Yeah.
That was maybe before the pandemic, but it took so long. that it came out
Lockdown.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
lockdown. Horrendous. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the fights were very dynamic and very interesting. They kind of really kept the pace going in the movie. I was never bored throughout the movie. I'll give it that.
Mhm.
But I do agree with Josh. I think it was good. It was fine. The action was fun. The comedy was hit and miss a lot of the time. But I think Jake Gyllenhaal really sold the chaotic nature of his character. I've never seen the original Roadhouse. But Jake really sold like this chaotic edge to this character who is trying to be as like trying to keep away from the drama as much as possible, given what happened to him in the past. But he still has like that weird edge to him, and I think Jake really sold that weird side of the character.
Yeah.
And then you
I
have
didn't-
the wrestler at the end. What was his name?
Conor McGregor.
Conor
He
McGregor, who
is
was wild.
insane. Fucking terrible actor, but like I loved it. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Something that I actually like about this movie, and it's just like this little trope that I like about action movies, is the why won't you just die guy. I like action hero. Jake sells it really well, even from the very first like sequence where he just gets stabbed in the parking lot. He's like, he doesn't even like react. He's just like bothered by it.
Yeah, exactly.
I obviously, yeah, like we said, I haven't watched the original, and I didn't know this was rated R until like halfway through. And toward at the end, like they go fucking far with how like crazy it gets and how like bloody. I was surprised.
Yeah, the last act was like probably my favorite part of the movie because it was just like balls to the wall, chaos. Nobody gave a fuck. It was just like crazy fighting, boats flying into all these buildings and stuff.
How did they survive? Who knows?
Who knows? It doesn't matter. Then they still have enough energy to fight. I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. But yeah, for me, I think the movie is let down by like the supporting cast. It didn't feel as hard to describe, but it didn't feel as like lived in as a town as I was hoping it would be. I think for the purpose of this movie, the setting is supposed to be very important to the characters and to like the dangerous people that are coming to upset the town. But I never really connected with the town and the ancillary characters as much as I really wanted to.
Yeah, like they try to like get you to care about the little girl in the library, but like the movie forgets about her too. So it's like,
for like the whole second act, she's gone, and then next thing you know, it's like bad guys come to her house. I'm like, oh, okay, there she is again. Jessica Williams was fine. I'm a fan of hers. Who else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, I think
Gage was he's there.
Who?
The blonde kid who he like trains in the bar.
Oh yeah, he just did the same shit every time. Yeah. Oh, that's what he was from. White Lotus. Okay.
Season 1.
Yeah, I was like, he looked so familiar, but I didn't look him up. Didn't really care. But yeah, it was just a paint by numbers movie. But I have a question for you guys. So this was supposed to be released in theaters. How do you think this would have done?
Terrible.
Bomb. Yeah, it would have bombed.
This is interesting to me because for me, it seems like a streaming movie. But
exactly, I'm all for it. Would have had a theatrical release, but this felt so much like a streaming movie.
But I say that having just witnessed this past January, we saw Beekeeper. If we saw Beekeeper on Netflix, I think it would have looked like a streaming movie. There was nothing event about Beekeeper, but Beekeeper made $100 million.
Well, Jason Statham, though.
Yeah, Jason Statham.
It's very interesting. Statham versus Jill.
Wait, it made that much?
Overall, I think not in the States. Overall, it made a surprising amount of money. You're right. That's the power of Statham compared to Jake, and like
he's more of an action draw than Gyllenhaal, I think.
Yeah, people aren't seeing Jake for like action stuff. It was just an interesting question or interesting topic. Because I know like Lyman and Jake, there was all this controversy over it was supposed to be in theaters.
They boycotted it, right?
Yeah, but then I heard other people. What?
He backtracked.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Then he backtracked in March, being like, "Oh no, I signed a contract or whatever, and it was always supposed to be this way." I was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter.
What?
Whatever." I don't know. I didn't read the full article, but I heard he did semi-backtrack that copy. So yeah, overall, I thought Roadhouse was fine. I think I gave it like 3.5, something like that, on Letterboxd. But yeah, solid movie.
Around a 3 range, yeah.
Yeah.
But
good movie.
Conor McGregor is like Momoa and Fast 10 levels of like just unhinged.
He was in something else. And I forget what it was, but he was like basically the same character, Conor McGregor. Yeah, I forget what it was.
Like first acting role.
The way he walks is so fucking funny.
I know you see.
that big set piece at the bar when he comes in, that's probably the best of the movie. Just
that was good.
The whole sense of chaos.
The camera. I was surprised about like how many good tracking shots there were in the like runners.
He was in Triple X, the Return of Xander Cage.
Of course he was.
Yeah, not a great movie. So it was a pretty fun movie. What else?
I was pleasantly surprised by how not bad it was.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Did anybody before we get to the big stuff, did we see anybody else see
Beekeeper finished
152 million?
Jesus. Wow.
I wonder what the budget was.
Probably not a lot for Beekeeper,
like
right?
50 maybe.
Yeah. Beekeeper
40.
budget.
I'll find out right now. But yeah.
40 million, yeah, good call. 40 million. So good job, Jason. We all saw Love Lies Bleeding this month, right? Or last month,
we did,
right?
Yep.
Great movie. My number 2 of the year still so far.
Love this movie.
Behind Dune Part 2. This was a fantastic movie. I have not seen the other director's first movie.
Saint Maud.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I heard it's crazy. This made me even more interested in Saint Maud. Because the thing I liked about this movie, in contrast to a movie like Roadhouse, the setting for this movie was very interesting. It's a very eerie and dark and like semi-mysterious setting. It's mysterious based on the fact that Kristen Stewart's character and her father in Ed Harris, they have like this shadow hanging over their characters. It kind of lingers over the town itself. And it just made for a very like mysterious kind of vibe. And I was really in love with like how eerie and like semi-dreadful it was, while also being romantic as hell too. It balanced a lot of different tones. And it was semi-spooky too, because it had like this progressively horror vibe going on.
The flashbacks,
the flashbacks,
in red, yeah.
Oh, beautiful editing, by the way, with those flashback shots. Like you're getting pieces and pieces that only last like a couple of seconds, but you can kind of get the vibe of like what really happened via Kristen's performance. Kristen was amazing.
She's so good, yeah,
fantastic, and her chemistry.
Lucy O'Brien also like incredible.
Oh yeah,
wait, is it Katie O'Brien?
Katie O'Brien. Yeah, Katie and Kristen and just fantastic chemistry. Yeah. Some of the best chemistry we've seen all year. And I just love how their relationship developed and grew, and like how complicated it was, what each one is getting out of the relationship. It was very interesting to see grow throughout this movie. I loved it.
Ed Harris also is like creepy motherfucker.
I love a good creepy Ed Harris. Yeah, he was great.
But yeah, I really loved the places this movie goes, and just keeping it focused on the relationship between Kristen Stewart and Katie O'Brien. That was a really good choice. Not letting it like escape that too much and let it get derailed. I thought they did a good focus of like balancing things throughout this whole film.
Yeah, I also love like the whole like thematic idea that the movie has of like how close the idea of love and hate are, like how like tightly together they are. Like you have like for example, like Ed Harris's character, like he clearly cares for his daughters, but like he does it in a very hateful way almost.
Yeah.
Then you have Kristen Stewart's character, who also is like, you know, she's starting to care about this individual that she just met, but like she's like pushing her to do things that maybe she shouldn't be doing, like the whole like steroids, like experimenting with steroids and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you have like I forget the character's name, but Katie O'Brien's character, her obsession with like bodybuilding, and how like that's like both like an avenue for her to fall in love with Kristen Stewart's character, but also like it my cats but like it also leads to like the whole like violent tendencies towards the end. So yeah.
Exactly, it kind of reminded me of what a lot of Last of Us discussions happens, like the complexity and the dangers of love. And this was really paramount in this movie, where, like you're saying, Katie O'Brien's character, she loves her profession, but she also loves she was beginning to love Kristen Stewart's character, and they're like that can't really gel a lot of the time. It kind of came to a head at the end of the movie. Let's get into spoilers, by the way. Spoilers for Love Lies Bleeding. If you haven't seen Love Lies Bleeding, please do. It's a fantastic movie, and the ending's very weird and interesting. For spoilers, my question is, did the pills really affect her character a lot of the time? Was she always morphing into that, or in the pills accelerated it?
I think that's what the case is. Yeah, like she always has that in her, but the pills are what's like accelerating it.
Amping her up.
Really great body horror stuff right there.
Yeah. Great stuff, because I think she starts like a little bit morphing, you could say, prior to getting offered the steroids, and then once she gets offered the steroids, it starts like happening more and more. And I was like, was she always like this, or did steroids activate something inside of her? But yeah, that was just a very interesting development. I didn't know where this movie was going, because I remember seeing in the trailers, I was like, she was kind of contorting in the trailers. I'm like, what's happening here? Is this about to be like a wolf woman scenario? She-Hulk scenario? So I didn't know where this was going. But yeah, she just got big. And it was crazy. But it was cool. And it lasted like 5 seconds. It wasn't as like, it didn't linger on it too much.
That shot of them in the clouds
running,
beautiful. Yeah,
I was like, my mouth was open. I was like, whoa, like this movie is weird. It's going places, but it's hard to describe, but it still made it very like not plausible, but like I can still connect with what's going on. It didn't take me out.
Also, shout out to that. Probably one of them is gonna go down as one of the best death scenes of the year with Dave Franco's character.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude! My theater was losing it. Somebody in my theater was like, "Oh my god!" Like, it was insane. Yeah, this was a fantastic theatrical experience, because we were so like, I was so ready for that guy to die, and then just getting slammed, and you see the jaw. It's like, oh shit!
The teeth.
Like,
Jenna Malone is also really great in this movie.
Yeah, totally.
She's like barely in it, but like the scenes that she does have, they're really impactful.
Yeah, she's the person who likes Kristen Stewart, right?
No, that's the sister.
She's a sister.
Yeah.
She's the sister. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The other girl also, she's also like, her character is annoying, but she sells it really well. Like that entire scene in the diner where she's like just sipping on her like milkshake and she's just like threatening like Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, spoilers, but the scene where she dies was like caught me off guard.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Oh, she gets shot, right? Oh my god, that was crazy. That was great. Oh, you're right. That was filmed very well because you see her fall, and the next thing you know, you see her. It's like, oh shit! And didn't Katie like pull the trigger on Kristen too?
Yeah,
the bullets were out or something like that. I was like, oh shit, this is so messy. But that's funny because when they're at the stoplight and then she sees like the ex-girlfriend or the crazy girl, I was like, oh wow, she's gonna figure it out. I was like, she's got to go now. Like she's got like my heist mind started like getting so into it. I was like, oh wow, this is gonna come back to bite them later on, and soon it did. But yeah, that kind of goes into how Ed Harris's character really got his hooks into Katie O'Brien's character there towards the end a little bit, which was very surprising. Such a manipulative and creepy character because they really talk about like the bodies that happened in the past, but they don't really like showcase it a lot. They just see a lot of like skeletons and bones.
Yeah. Also, this movie has like a really good example of like characters doing something and having to face their consequences. Like Kristen Stewart didn't have to light the car on fire, but she does just to get her back to her dad. But like, it bites her in the ass ultimately too. So
exactly, yeah, it was a phenomenal movie. I think it was very romantic and everything.
This is one of those movies where like, because of how fresh and bold it is, you're just like happy that we are still doing movies like these. Like, the industry is pretty bleak right now, but it's talents like Rose Glass where like, that reinstills some type of hope.
You're right, man.
Filmmaking.
You're so right. You're so right. But I was kind of worried going into 2024, being like, I know there's a lot of big blockbusters coming out. I can't wait for Mufasa.
This is the year of indies, I think.
But yeah, this is going to be the year of indies and experimental movies. Tonight, I'm seeing Monkey Man, and I'm very excited for that. It looks very interesting. And then I'm hearing surprising things like from Josh about Fall Guy. Like, there's a lot of like directors taking swings.
That's not an indie movie, but
it's not an indie, but you know. Directors taking swings and just original stuff coming out.
Well, it
is.
A
lot of people. It is what based off of what?
It was based off like a show from the 70s.
But like it's not like big IP. It's not like Marvel. Right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. I didn't know that. I thought it was original. But yeah, so I'm just excited for a lot of interesting and original stuff happening later this year as well.
I'm excited this weekend for The First Omen, even though that's like a franchise. But
I'm hearing good shit about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to see it. I haven't seen Omen.
I watched it about 2 days ago.
Oh, wow. Is it super scary or what? Is it fine?
It's good. It's not super scary.
But... It's not super scary. I went to go see Immaculate. I'm like, that wasn't scary at all. But it was good. Can you talk about that? Is that March?
Yeah. We can talk about
it. Is that March? It's literally April 3rd. Anyways, yeah, I saw Immaculate. This was good. I think... For me, it follows a lot of horror tropes a lot of the time where it's a character going into a spooky place and, oh no, it's bad and I got to go.
Oh, like Sydney Sweeney sells it really well, though.
She sells. It's one of those rare, like, not rare, but it happens a lot in the horror genre where even if the movie's cliche, the main character really sells it. And that's definitely the case with Sydney Sweeney where I'm like, okay, the rest of the movie was fine, but Sydney really sells it. And I was really... captivated by her journey throughout this entire movie because I was also interested in what the heck is going on, what did they possibly do to her, and the whole ending was phenomenal. I think the last 10 minutes there was just a really fun journey.
I thought the atmosphere was really good. The production design is just really fucking great. Yeah, Sydney Sweeney's really surprised me here. I mean, I don't know if surprise is the right word. I've always known she was a great actor, like Euphoria. That might be it.
She was okay in the first season of White Lotus.
White Lotus, yeah.
It's really good, actually.
I'm not mentioning anyone but you because she's not great in that.
I keep hearing good things about this movie. I have not seen it yet.
Wait for Netflix, Evan.
I wait for Netflix. I know. I'm still paying $20 for Netflix. I'll wait.
Jesus. But yeah, that final shot, that ending is like incredible. And her, like, I won't spoil it, but like, what she does in that final shot is really impressed me.
It really like puts you in the back of your seat, and you're just like, whoa, like you didn't see that coming.
I will say up there with best horror screams with Samara Weaving and Ready or Not.
Oh, good call there.
Can we talk about spoilers real quick?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay. So I thought the movie was good, and I wasn't really like scared or anything, but like the one sequence that actually got me, that I was like, holy shit, was the where she's like faking her like miscarriage with those with the chicken, and then when the other, like, I don't know, Reverend Mother, whatever you want to call her,
Reverend Mother, when she said Reverend Mother, I was like, dude.
But yeah, like when she sees like the feather of the dead chicken, is just like such a great moment.
Mm-hmm. That was a great moment. I totally called it. I was like, something was up here. I was like, what's happening? Because it was like cut with the scene right before that where they're like chopping off chicken heads or whatever. And it was like right at the moment where in the movie she was like, I really gotta go. Like, this place is crazy. She just saw her friend getting tortured. Like, okay, I'm out of there. And that whole sequence was filmed so well because you're in the car, you see him on the phone, just slowly turn around. She's out of there. That was a great wide shot where she's like running out of the frame. The two guys just come booking at her. It was great.
I think my biggest problem with the movie is like not necessarily that it's tropey, but like this movie is very clearly inspired by things like Rosemary's Baby, but like the difference between this and that is that the horror of why these people are doing what they're doing, like in Rosemary's Baby, is like it's very simple and it's not like overly explained, whereas in this movie they're like, the movie almost pauses for like 10 minutes to explain like, oh, this is why we're doing it, and this and this and that, and I'm like, I don't care, just give me just keep going, just keep
sense
going.
of mystery that would make him like more terrifying. Is gone.
That's a great point, because part of me was very itching to know like what did they exactly do to her and why. But you're right. There's also a good point in terms of the mystery of it all. Kind of would have made it even more scary. But I was kind of like interested. I was like, what are they trying to do here? It did get crazy because I'm like, okay, you had me, but then you're like trying to resurrect Jesus. Now this is getting crazy. So yeah, it was.
The villain was kind of cliche, but I thought I thought it was pretty solid.
He's a very good actor. I'm a big fan of Money Heist on Netflix, and he's the main character in Money Heist. Yeah, so he was fine.
But yeah, the final shot is what was my main takeaway from that movie.
I will say about the final shot, I was scared that they were gonna show the baby, and I didn't want them to show it just to maintain.
Me neither. And
I was so glad when it's just like The Rock, and
I got flashbacks to Mother. I hate Mother. The Darren Aronofsky movie.
Bad movie.
Where they're eating the baby on screen. I'm like, this is disgusting. Take me out of this movie. And they didn't do that here. They just they kind of like put it away.
I will say, I told this to Edgar, but I wouldn't stop thinking about how this would make such a perfect Halloween Horror Nights house or maze.
That'd be kind of cool.
Like that.
With the red little fuckers.
Design, it's good.
I've always heard those are so much fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, they had a Last of Us one.
Like a horror Last of Us house or something, or oh, cool.
It was good.
What else do we see here?
Thank you very much, Hunter. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks, Hunter.
Finally, someone.
He was number one.
I have some movies that we didn't touch on last month.
Okay.
One that like really surprised me and has gone up on like my ranking a bit.
Argyle? So Argyle again?
No. Never. Sometimes I think about dying with
I need to see this. Oh, yeah. It's like $4 now on YouTube, right? I think I can rent it.
I saw it in theater. This movie really struck me of how like how realistic it is in terms of like isolation and social anxiety. And
what's the main topic of this movie? What's it about?
social anxiety.
Oh, okay.
Being like a loner, I guess, and being okay with that, but also like struggling to wanna branch out, but also terrified of doing that. And I am someone who suffers with social anxiety, so I totally feel that. I think Daisy Ridley, this might be her best performance.
Whoa,
she's fantastic here. I really love the bits of surrealism that were sprinkled in here by director Rachel Lambert. I think the direction's really good. The script is fantastic. The score is really sweeping and beautiful, and I was just really surprised by how good this was.
Was this John Williams too? Did he come back for Daisy Ridley?
No, it was not.
That's cool though. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch.
Lovely. It's very I can't think of the word. You did relate a lot to it. I think everyone could.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch this movie since it got announced. Yeah. This is like your number 2 of the year, right? I think it's on your list some time ago.
Number 3 so far.
Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, fantastic movie. I'd recommend it to everyone.
Have you seen it, Edgar, already?
No, but I heard what was it, Sundance last year or something? I forgot.
This year, or last year, I don't know. Yeah.
Speaking about this year, last year, I was looking at a list of top 10 movies of 2024. How to Have Sex is on there. Is that a 2024 movie or 2023?
I mean, I saw it in 2023, so I'm counting it last year.
Okay. Because I was looking at release dates, I was like, it said November.
I mean, it
January.
Got a wide release this year, but it was. Okay. I mean, that's a messy situation with all those types of movies. Like, I have Perfect Days on my last year for list, even though it got a wide release in February. Like, I don't know, it's messy. Okay, you do you.
Thank you. Did anybody else see Kung Fu Panda 4?
No.
No. Edgar, the biggest. What's her name? Fucking
what?
Aquafina. You're not an Aquafina fan, Edgar?
Hey, I'm not even the biggest hater.
Yeah.
Not in this group.
I know our chat hates her. I'm like, damn. But
I used to not hate her, but then she just kept doing the same fucking thing.
She's doing the same voice over and over. I know it's not great. I
need her back doing like farewell type roles.
Maybe she's done with Farewell. Maybe Farewell took a lot out of her. I don't know.
She only did that type of role once.
She's recharging.
Exactly. She's recharging.
Maybe. I need Wu Lan to hire her.
What's Lulu's next movie? Yeah, call her up.
I need to watch Expats. I still need to watch that.
Oh, I heard that was a good series. That was this year, right?
Yeah. This came out like the same time as Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and that was like the show that was supposed to.
He got buried. Yeah. So yeah, I saw Kung Fu Panda 4. I recently watched the trilogy throughout January and February, and I don't think it's as good as the trilogy, but there's some very cool themes in this movie about like the next stages of the hero's journey for Po. I think it's very like logical in terms of the Joseph Campbellian hero's journey there. I think voice acting across the board was fun per usual. The fights are very dynamic and interesting. The villains. Okay, Viola Davis is like really carrying the presence.
She's in this?
She's the villain. Yeah.
Oh, she's
I didn't know it either.
Up in random like franchise movies.
I know, I love it. Yeah, she hopped from Hunger Games straight to Kung Fu Panda 4.
You gotta get those checks.
Exactly. But yeah, she was cool because the voice and the presence of Viola made her cool, but I think the villain didn't really come up to sniff. I don't know. It didn't really connect or gel with like the other villains and their impact. I was also missing the supporting cast of this movie, the Ferocious Five, whatever they're called.
Furious Five or whatever.
Furious Five, sure, yeah. Which I had a complaint. What?
Furious.
I had a complaint when I was watching the trilogy, and I only seen this trilogy recently. But I think the Ferocious Five, for all the hype I've been hearing about them over the years, I wish they were in the movies more, like the main trilogy. They don't really do it that much. The most they get is in the first movie where they get their butts kicked by the tiger. And then Tigress is an interesting character who I think the franchise really didn't give her enough material as a character. I think Tigress could have been a very interesting character. Tigress could have been.
Is that Angelina Jolie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
I watched the first one of these like years ago when it came out, or I might have found. I don't even remember it that much, but I never watched the sequels.
Yeah, the cast
It doesn't seem that appealing to me when you have How to Train Your Dragon as the probably a better trilogy.
It is. I think How to Train Your Dragon's still better, but I had a lot of fun. I'm glad I finally watched this whole franchise because it is fun, and there are some great like kung fu action and some great themes and character building that is in each of the movies. Kung Fu Panda 2 in particular is very emotional, and in general, I like where the direction of the franchise went with 4. I just think it could have been a bit better with his themes and execution. So that was Kung Fu Panda.
Give me 1 second here. Would any of you like to see Christopher Nolan tackle horror? You know,
Hell
yeah. Who doesn't?
I don't necessarily see it, but the fact that I don't see it excites me because I would like to see what a version of horror movie.
Yeah, there was a great comment.
Oppenheimer, parts of it are kind of like a horror.
Honestly, movie. Yeah, with like the clapping and the cheering in there. But I think Nolan made an interesting comment when he was interviewing Villeneuve. And they're like, they get this opportunity to make a lot of these IMAX and big spectacle movies because it's rare for directors to have that kind of, power and like clout in the industry. So that's why they're making, whenever they get a chance to make a movie, they're making it as big and as epic and as theatrical as possible. And to see that like idea within the realm of a big theatrical horror movie, like I think Jordan Peele is getting up there in terms of like theatrical event horror, like with Nope. So I think see Nolan get somewhere close to that realm would be very interesting.
I don't think we did much of that these days. Like big budget, like blockbuster horror movies. Like
no, yeah.
I can't think of any. Like even the Halloween movies were like smaller budget.
Last time it happened, it was The Exorcist, and
yeah, that's true. That's true.
$100 million.
It didn't even seem that like epic. No. It was just in a small, grimy town, and yeah.
I think Us might be like the last one I have to remember. Just
again,
Peele and stale.
Yeah, Peele really has kind of like and Shyamalan in a sense, but Shyamalan also like gets low budget as well.
Yeah,
so he goes back and forth. Yeah. Is Shyamalan coming out the new one this year? Or is that just his daughter?
I think he rapped already on the concert one. Rapped,
yeah.
Okay. I did see it being saved for spring next year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do we see here?
Do you want to talk about some shitty movies, Evan?
I didn't see a lot of shitty. Oh well, I mean, yeah. I saw Damsel. It's not shitty. It's a Netflix movie.
Damsel.
And did you see Damsel 2, Edgar?
Yeah, I did. That's what I was referring to.
Okay, cool. And let me begin this review by saying I saw this 2 p.m. during my spring break. It was a bright day, but I still saw this during the day. I can't see shit that's happening in this movie. And granted, yes, I should have blinds in my living room. Yes.
Is it your TV though?
No, it's not my TV. It's just like, it was.
I didn't have that much problems watching it, to be honest.
When they were in the cave, Edgar, when she's running from the dragon in the cave area before she gets to the blue, slugs.
What's this movie about?
I couldn't see shit. Anyways, the movie's about.
Let's spoil it. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
No spoil. Oh, okay. How's it go? No spoilers, then spoilers. But no spoilers. This girl is living in it's a fantasy realm. She's in this village. The village is not well off. They're losing a lot of crops and grain, and they're not making enough money. So, miraculously enough, this prince from a faraway land asks to marry her or, be part of the marriage or whatever. And this place where the prince is very bountiful and seems great and all seems great. But then there's this looming threat of a dragon, and chaos arises when.
Sounds very generic.
It is, but the movie also tries to make a spin on the generic. So, spoiler of it all, the place where the prince is from, where the land is beautiful, the land is great. Spoiler alert! It's because the prince and especially the mother, played by Robin Wright, made a deal with the dragon, who can talk, made a deal with the dragon that, hey, we will sacrifice princesses,
Yeah.
right? And then the dragon won't attack
Daughters
them.
of the family.
Three,
Yeah.
three daughters of the family. Yeah, exactly. I know. Kingdom Hearts. We was talking about shit, and the dragon's like, cool, whatever, cool, I'll eat. But the late twist of it all is that the dragon's also getting played and kind of stuff like that. But this movie's pretty bad. But I saw this with my mom and my brother, and we're just chilling, having fun, and laughing at the crazy circumstances and all the crazy decision making that these people are doing.
Is this Joey Keane, right?
No, it's Millie Bobby Brown.
Right.
There was a movie with Joey Keane.
Yeah,
It sounds very similar.
That's very similar.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that Hulu movie, I think, right? Where yeah, I never saw that one. I saw the Romeo and Juliet Hulu movie. But anyways,
the fucking axed.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? It's cool. I think the best part of this movie is the voice actress for the dragon is fantastic. I really want to pull up her name. I'm gonna butcher it. Where are you at? Nope. Dang, they don't even have her on Letterboxd. Where are you at?
Yeah, she's on the bottom.
She's on the bottom. There we go.
I don't know how to pronounce.
Yeah, Shorey Agradashlu. Oh, I butchered her name. But she was also a voice actress in one of my favorite shows of all time, Arcane, and she played a police chief in Arcane, and she was fantastic there. So great voice actress, and the dragon design is fantastic. I think the creature design for the dragon was very cool. That's it though. I think, yeah. I mean, there's not much to glean from this movie in terms of depth. It's just fun. Turn her eyes off and just go along for the ride.
Millie Bobby Brown.
She's Millie.
She's
good. It's like I think she peaked in Stranger Things season 1, maybe 2. Maybe
she needs to get out of fucking Netflix, man.
I mean,
she's getting paid.
She's getting money. But it's like, yeah, I think once she gets older, I think it'd be time to stretch her legs a little bit.
She needs to watch movies.
Yeah, she talks like my 6th grade class. We're like, movies? What are you talking about, Mr. Harris? God, you guys. Anyways, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you need to watch some cinema. Like, if Letterboxd interviewed her and said, like, give us your top 4 movies, what would she say? Damsel?
Stranger Things season 1, Stranger Things season 3, season 4.
Yes. Well, the good things about Stranger Things that they film it like a movie. No. That'd be funny as hell. Damsel's probably my lowest rated one of the. Oh no, Ghostbusters was same. I gave it 2.5 as well.
Not Lift. Lift got
worse
more?
than Argyle.
No, for March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not my least favorite of the year. Argyle, I also gave 2.5 because of the smoke hallway scene.
That's it.
That's it.
That's not even that good. Too.
I didn't hate Argyle. It was crazy and weird, but I wasn't like, oh my god, what is happening? I was like nauseous because of the twist. That pissed me off.
Twists.
Twists is plural. Every other minute there was a twist. Okay.
All right. Speaking of twists, I saw this little horror movie that nobody watched, Imaginary.
Yeah, I did not see Imaginary.
Yeah, this movie is not good, but I don't know.
Well, Mel's really putting out some shit these days, huh?
Yeah. You can tell that they're trying to do something with the whole like, ooh, let's go to the dream realm or whatever. But like,
that's not even there, right?
Yeah, the one with the stupid ass bear. Yeah.
You mean If?
But yeah, like even the dream world is not even that interesting. It kind of just feels like a 99-cent version of Insidious when they go to like the
big time
whatever it was called, I forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie is just very generic, but I will say it is sort of funny sometimes when they try to make the bear seem like scary. There's some really cool, like at least I think it was like practical puppetry work. At least it seemed that way. But like, but yeah, that entire section of the movie was pretty good.
They had Frank Oz come on set for the puppets.
Yeah. No, like they try to like there's like even more like I guess creepy version of the bear in the dream world. So that's like kind of like a puppetry, like a costume type
Okay.
thing. But yeah, like then the movie tries to do like two twists at the end of like, oh, like it was all a dream. Oh wait, it wasn't, but it was a
Oh
dream.
no! Oh no! I hate
uh,
that. I
but
do. I
yeah,
really hate that. So yeah,
yeah,
I might
agree.
check that out later on. There's some movies that I haven't seen that I refused to see in theaters. I'm like, I might check that out later this year.
Also, there's this one older lady character in this movie played by Betty Buckley, and it's one of the most bizarre characters that I've seen in a movie in a hot minute. Of
Wow.
that kind of like she kind of like starts out like trying to help the family figure things out, but once they're like in the dream world, it's like this was my plan all along. This is where I belong, type of shit. And I'm like, what's happening right now?
That's crazy.
But yeah, it's
Uh,
it's not unwatchable, but you know, not
oh,
good.
Hunter in the chat said he saw. Speaking of horror, Winnie the Pooh with Blood and Honey 2.
I've heard like decent things about that. Surprisingly,
Yeah, I like had zero interest in that whole franchise, if you want to call it that. But I've heard,
universe,
yeah,
The
universe.
universe, the
universe.
And are any of you fans of David Cronenberg's Boys or David Cronenberg's Boys?
The only Cronenberg film I've seen is Crimes of the Future, his latest one. But I've
haven't seen any
seen
of them.
his sons, both of his movies,
Um,
Possessor and Infinity Pool.
Infinity Pool. Yeah, I haven't seen
Both good.
Possessor.
Possessor is really good.
I don't think those movies are for me, but I keep hearing people say like I got to see Possessor because of Christopher Abbott.
Injury Riseborough too.
Sure.
Academy Award nominated.
Yeah. What else? What other shitty movies did you see, Edgar or Josh?
I mean, I don't hate this movie, but I don't think it's good. Speaking of horror-esque stuff, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, let's talk about that. This was such a mixed bag for me because coming off of Afterlife, which I really like. I liked a lot. 3/4 of Afterlife. The finale isn't great,
Yeah,
but
okay.
I
The 3/4, the first like 2 acts, good. Third act of Afterlife is fucking trash.
I don't think it completely derailed the movie for me. I was like, oh man, it was kind of a bummer, but I don't think it completely derailed the movie. I think I still loved the vibe of the movie that it was setting up, kind of like a.
It's left a bad taste in my mouth.
That's fair. I think it kind of, it left a lot of hope for the future in terms of like if they stick to what I liked about Afterlife, the family dynamic, the not original, but just like spinning off, let the family do their own thing within the Ghostbusters universe. That could be kind of fun. I like seeing the world of Ghostbusters is very funny and interesting when you keep them away from the nostalgia bait of it all. And I think, unfortunately for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, while it does have some great family moments, I think it also tries to combine itself too closely with a lot of the nostalgia
I
stuff.
don't feel that way.
And I think by putting constant Bill Murray characters shows up a little bit, but like by putting themselves in New York, they kind of pigeonholed themselves into fitting into an established Ghostbusters universe instead of isolating themselves into a different scenario. Because part of me was like excited for them to go back to New York, but also I was kind of weary of what they might do with it in New York. I just didn't feel like the setting really made it that exciting. But also the biggest letdown for me was just the general vibe of this movie. It felt overall very lackadaisical, where I didn't feel any kind of stakes at all. Like, I don't know, but like, I didn't feel any stakes or intensity throughout this entire movie. And that was very paramount in the final act for me, where it's just like, oh, the world's gone to shit. Oh, here we go, guys. Time to save the world again. It's like, you guys don't really care. Should I care? Like, I wasn't really melding in with like the general vibe of the movie.
Bill Murray is very clearly there for the paycheck.
Yeah,
that was
that's what you expect.
Even all of the adults, like all the adult characters, were like, I think their big thing at the end was like pulling a lever, and I'm just, I wasn't
standing
really
around watching.
There was a lot of standing
it's
around.
Better than them fucking taking the reins from the kids, like in Afterlife.
Yeah, that's true.
But at that point, just make an excuse for them not to be there in the first place.
I mean, yeah. Okay, here's my thing with this movie. I'm not the biggest Ghostbusters fan. I've never I don't know. I rewatched them before Afterlife. Didn't really care about any of them except maybe 2016. That was unique and fun in bad ways. But Afterlife, I really liked. We talked about. I really loved the first like 3/4 of that movie, and the ending just fucking took the shit on the whole thing for me. Frozen Empire, I went in with rock bottom expectations, which is probably why I had a lot of fun with it.
Rock bottom.
I did think it focused more on the family, the new characters, more than the older characters. At least it handled it did. I think it was really fun to seeing them as a family dynamic. I think McKenna Grace is the best part of these movies. She's so good as Phoebe.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Also, Paul Rudd. I'm just. You can't hate that man. He's always fantastic, and I think every joke from him lands here for me. I think this movie, like I said, this handles the dynamic between the old and the new a lot better, especially in the third act for me. I think this brings a lot of new ideas that are kind of fresh and interesting. I don't really want to spoil it, but like with the ghost, especially, and
I agree.
Relationship or dynamic with them is really cool. I think they should focus more on that, but what they did do, I was surprised by. I think he does suffer a bit from like just a boring villain that I don't really care about much about, but I don't know. I had fun with it. I had way more fun than I was expecting to.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a bad movie in any sense of the word. For me, it was just like it didn't amount. I wasn't like feeling anything from this movie. But let's talk about it. I think the best part about this movie is, like Josh said, McKenna Grace's character goes in some very fun directions. Her relationship with the other ghost was really, really good, and probably one of the more interesting, unique aspects in the entire freaking franchise for me. I'm also like Josh. I don't love the Ghostbusters franchise. I watched one a lot as a kid because my mom loves the movie. But I think one is really good, but everything else kind of.
I think one's the worst movie.
Oh wow, I love one. Yeah. I really like one.
I like two more, and I think 2016 is pretty good. Besides third act,
2016 is just so boring to me. I wasn't
really. I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was trying to be hilarious, but I mean, Chris Hemsworth.
I love that, like those actors though. I love Kristen Wiig. I love Kate McKinnon. So yeah.
I would love them on SNL. I didn't like them in Ghostbusters though.
That's fair.
But yeah, I think Chris Hemsworth is like the scene stealer in that movie. He is hilarious.
Yeah, he's incredible in that.
But yeah, for me, her relationship with the other ghost was very touching, very heartwarming, and
it was nice to see Emily Lynn Lind again from Doctor.
Is that
Sleep.
Who that was? Yeah, okay, yeah.
From what?
Yeah, she's great.
Doctor Sleep, like the girl, like the one that I think can like read minds or whatever. I forgot.
The one that Rebecca Ferguson, like the younger one that.
That's that joins okay. Them. Yeah. Okay, nice pull. Yeah, I did not know that. Okay, I was like, she looks familiar, but zero clue where she's from.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I wish the movie focused more on that. I think it would have been more interesting. Also, I feel like the family dynamic could have been worked more. Like I joked like in our group chat that it feels like a whole more interesting movie happening between this and Afterlife.
Yeah. I'm watching this. I'm like, there's a great movie in here somewhere, and kind of that happened beforehand that I would really, really like to see.
Yeah.
For me, Alan Wind also in The Babysitter, which I like those movies a lot.
I don't remember her from Lights Out. I know she has a credit for Lights Out, but I'm like, I can't picture that for some reason.
What's Lights Out? That was like the one David
F. Sandberg.
Yeah. His directorial debut.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, also a point that I really did not like. I'm usually a big fan of him, but Kumail Nanjiani was really.
I thought he was kind of good here.
I didn't like him. His jokes really fell flat for me. The whole Firekeeper business wasn't vibing with me at all.
It's very much just him playing the whole shit he usually does, but I think it worked here for me.
Yeah, I was really hoping I would like his character. I just didn't like his shtick. What else? That's about it. Yeah, it was pretty good, pretty fun.
McKenna Grace go work with Mike Flanagan again.
Yes, please.
I think she's busy making songs now these days. I looked her up the other day. I'm like, oh, she has like albums out or something.
The song she did for Afterlife was not good.
She did an Afterlife song.
But she
boy.
did
She
the
had a
credit
song?
I think. The credit song, yeah.
Wait, she was in Malignant? What was she in Malignant?
Remember, she was the
Flashback?
Wasn't she a daughter? Yeah.
Okay.
In the flashback.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
Matilda Grace?
Yeah.
I mean, she's
Oh,
played
was she
everybody's.
young? She's like the young, the actress for the young version of it. Like characters in every movie.
She's played everybody's younger version.
I Tanya, Captain Marvel.
Yeah. So those are all the new.
Kate Seaton.
Josh, let's talk about Late Night with the Devil.
I haven't seen this one. So
You haven't seen this one? I really liked this movie. This was
very complicated thing to talk about with this movie.
This was a very interesting movie for me. David F. Sandberg. David Dasmalchian was really good. Really good. I think he should direct and he should star in a lot more horror flicks. Even that one beat that he was in, I didn't like the movie, but the one sleeping movie, not sleeping, but the one under your bed. Boogeyman, yeah. I didn't really like that movie, but he was great in the little bit that he was in. But there's a creeping dread throughout this movie that is very interesting to me. It's like it's slowly creeping in. The authenticity of the horror was very interesting as well in terms of like
just the whole vibe is really good. I love
the vibe was so
movies
cool
that like
unique.
take place on retro like late night sets or talk show sets. Like that whole shit is really appealing to me.
Yeah,
and does that really well.
I was liking how they go back and forth between black and white and color. It was in very appropriate places as well.
This movie goes places.
How'd you feel about? No spoilers. I don't want to spoil anybody for this movie. Well, how do you feel about the ending? I think the ending for me kind of.
I was like thinking it might get a bit lost in the sauce, but the final scene, the final shot, really brought it around for me.
I agree. I think I was kind of like, oh no, they're doing this, but also the final
way out there, but then they reel it back in.
They reel it back in. So yeah, overall, I thought it was a very well done. It didn't like blow me away horror movie, but I liked what they did. I thought it was very unique, and
the atmosphere was fantastic.
The atmosphere makes the movie because it was very like I'm watching just an average. Like I watched it for more than Jimmy Fallon.
I love just the way it's filmed, shot. It's like it basically just lost a taping of the episode with some behind the scenes sprinkled in, and that's black and white we did, which is really cool.
Does it all take place in the set?
Yes,
it's all in real time. Yeah,
it's a one location film.
How long is this movie? Like 90 minutes.
90 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I think overall it was really good.
I was thinking about this. We don't really get many movies that like take place in real time as much anymore, and I really love that we got that here.
Great point. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of like cuts or anything.
Yeah.
It was a lot of real time. And even like outside of like the things that were like filming, like even the behind the scenes stuff during the shooting was very interesting. And that's where you got a lot of the character moments from.
Unfortunately, I can't talk about this movie without bringing up the AI situation, which is
a lot of the AI background.
They use AI for 3 interstitials, but also maybe the logo. That if that is the case, it's fucking in every shot. The Night Owl's logo.
Oh, really? That part too?
I don't know if it's confirmed, but like it might be AI. And if it is, that'll just piss me off because it's literally in every shot. And like I could fucking make that thing in Canva in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's fucking easy, and they resorted to AI. I get the point of it was early and they wanted to experiment with it, but like, how could you not realize how dangerous of a precedent that could set?
Exactly,
especially if this movie's doing really well and it's getting away with it. Like I don't know. It's a messy situation, and it's hard to support this movie with that in mind. I think.
Well, yeah, I really loved it. I gave it 3.5. It might be 4 the more I think about it. Cause
I really love the movie though.
I love the atmosphere, and I love when horror movies take big swings. Like we were just talking about with Love Lies Bleeding. I like when movies get weird and take big swings by still centering it around the character. It didn't get too crazy. They kept it the focus on David's character, what happened to him, and I like that a lot. I just realized David didn't direct this. Somebody else did. Cameron Cairns and Colin Carnes, 2 brothers. I thought it was David, but David acted and produced it, so that's cool.
Yeah, give him more starring roles.
Was this original, Josh?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, really good. Hopefully the sequel, Late Night with the Angel, is even better. Okay.
And no AI.
No, yeah. Okay, I think that was it for new releases for me. I saw some cool stuff.
Well, technically, we watched. I watched Godzilla X Kong.
Oh wow, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Godzilla that came out end of the March. Yeah. What do we think? I
wish one day I have as much fun at my job as Adam Wingard has.
Exactly. Yeah. Great. The joy that comes out of him that he through making that third act was just fucking radiant on the screen.
For sure.
You could tell he's having so much fun.
I go back.
I love him just for. I'm glad this movie exists just for that.
Me too. In reading his interviews, you can tell he really vibes with this universe. And for me, I think I might like this a little bit more than Godzilla versus Kong.
Me too.
I think Godzilla versus Kong might have some more interesting sets and interesting fights, but this franchise makes or breaks. Each film makes or breaks it based on the human.
All of them are shit besides -1 and Tron Still Island that I've seen.
Even Conflict Island was hit and miss for me, but I think you're right. It's better than both.
This is a pure ensemble movie, and they understood what that movie was going for.
Exactly.
Every cast member in that movie.
In this movie, in the last movie, the whole Millie Bobby Brown podcast got a journey to Hong Kong. Bullshit was awful.
Let me just fucking say, I don't know how they keep making Brian Tyree Henry, one of my favorite actors these days, the most annoying fucking character in cinema. I don't get it. How do you do that to someone who's so charismatic?
I love that moment. I love that moment where he's filming the natives, and Dan Steven is you don't think this is a bad idea, and he's like, I don't know, and then he just keeps filming.
Was it supposed to be a lesson? He didn't learn jack. You're right. In the first 30 minutes of him appearing, he says every social media buzzword possible. Hey, check out my
Discord chat.
My Discord chat. Oh, the Reddit page. It's oh my god, Discord, Reddit.
We get it.
Streaming. We get it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Josh. I was losing my mind. I'm Discord, check. Reddit, check. Facebook, Twitter, check.
Tumblr? Was you want to mention Tumblr next?
Probably. You probably have a Tumblr. Oh, his blog. Who has a blog in 2024? But anyways, he had a whole blog. I'm this is getting stupid. This was every social media thing in the book.
That's old men writing modern characters.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. It's you have all those links. Come on. Anyways, but overall, the human characters didn't bug me as nearly as enough as the other Godzilla movies or the other MonsterVerse kaiju movies in general. They were basically along for the ride, semi-comedic relief.
Ken Stevens, fantastic.
It's having a time of his life.
Weird,
great. What?
Yeah,
being a weird little fella.
Yeah, being a weird little guy. Yeah, exactly. He was really fun.
Dentist for fucking big monkeys.
Yeah, I was okay, I guess that's his role.
I'm all for it.
I really don't care, but it was really cool. They didn't make the humans the villains. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, I thought would have been excellent, but they made this whole we gotta save the universe and the mom is evil. Genocide. I'm stop it. And then
I was missing Billy Chandler though.
I know. Godzilla's going crazy and we don't know why.
I miss him.
He was great. Bring him back.
Just him, not Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, just bring it to dad.
She died off screen.
Oh, no. You can just say she went to college or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's starting to be a podcaster.
Yeah.
Is it Vera Farmiga the mom too?
She died.
Yeah. Did she die?
Yeah. Did she? I don't know.
Her redemption sacrifice.
Yeah, she sacrificed.
Oh, I hate that.
Jesus.
I hated
it. Was that King of the Monsters?
That was King of the Monsters. Okay. Which I think King of the Monsters might be visually the best movie.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, but then the whole human thing is atrocious.
It's also, it probably has the best score out of the the monster.
Yeah,
the
it actually uses
Moth-
the main theme.
Yeah, that Mothra scene with that score there and King of the Monsters.
Can I give me a few seconds and say how Junji Edsel is like not a good composer besides Fury Road?
I mean, you're more of a composer
It's
guy.
just
Than
so
I am.
bland. It's just pure, like, just bland, generic action, like drums, heavy drums, like blahs.
That's fair. I think
it worked in Fury Road, but like everything he's done since is not good.
Somebody who's a bigger fan of them might be more aggressive towards that statement, but like I don't know a lot of his other tracks. What other albums?
Is this Hans Zimmer light, or like just trying to emulate Hans Zimmer, but like not doing the magic that he does sometimes?
I think it kind of sort of worked in BVS and in the Justice League cut.
I can't remember any of it.
But
the BVS score is pretty dang good.
Come on.
What?
Beautiful Life.
Batman theme. The Batman theme is good. Yeah.
I like the BVS. The Wonder Woman, right? Isn't that them? Wonder Woman?
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Besides
BVS and Very Red.
Personally, I really like the Lex Luthor theme in that movie.
Yes, I do too. I really like the score of BVS. I think it's really
everything he's done since though is kind of boring.
Yeah, that was that was
it's been a minute.
8 years ago. But yeah, I think the by making the kaiju the actual villains and not the humans, I think that was a very good choice here.
Good choice.
Granted, the kaiju weren't that interesting of villains, but I think I liked the fights. Fights were fun.
I had no fucking clue what was going on in terms of story, but like the vibes were good. And
you didn't?
The fights were great. The exposition drops like every fucking 10 minutes.
The exposition drop gave you everything you needed to know. It was like reading straight from a novel. It was like, and then all of a sudden this beast, and then this
Rebecca Hoy just has all of this knowledge.
Just going beat for beat for beat for beat. And it's like, and then these humans went to a cave. Like it was so coincidental. I'm like,
the whole mother-daughter, adopted daughter thing is just so generic. It didn't work.
Yeah, didn't really need it. I think.
Yeah. The best thing is still Khan Skull Island, where like they talk and communicate with Khan. Like Skull Island does it the best.
Yeah, I do like. I still like the sign language aspect of this movie.
I will say that I think that helps this movie a lot is that half of it is just like a silent movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it works the best.
It works. Yeah, I think you mentioned this, Edgar, in terms of like a lot of between this and Dune, like a lot of sign language being very prevalent in like big blockbusters. It's very cool.
I mean, it won Best Picture a couple years ago, a silent language movie.
Coda.
Parasite or Coda.
Parasite.
I thought you meant like subtitles, but yeah, Coda.
Should have won. That's a different question.
That lineup was awful that year, though.
Dune, Power of the Dog, Drive My Car, West Side Story.
Okay, I mean, I think of the other one.
2020 was
2019 was not good.
Wait, no, 2020 to
2020. Yeah, that one.
That wasn't terrible.
The one with the Trial of Chicago 7 in the mix, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah, but we also had Nomadland. We had Sound of Metal, Judas and Black Messiah.
Sound of Metal is the best one on the list. And Minari. I don't know. Nomadland's great, but I'm never gonna watch it again.
Mank. I didn't hate Mank.
Mank was awful. I loved it.
Boring.
Awful. No.
It was as horrible as that one Alfonso Cuarón movie that came out a year ago.
No! Fuck off!
Whoa!
Roma's great.
It's boring. Anyways.
Where's Carson when you need him?
I know, right? It's like, no! they love
if you want to talk about boring movies Evan would hate, then I also watched the classic Jeanne Dielman, a long ass title. It's a French film by Chantal Akerman that came out in 1975, and the whole movie is just watching this middle-aged woman, her daily routine for 3 hours. Evan, he would hate this movie, but I loved it.
See her wash the dishes and take a shit or something? What's going on?
Yeah. Take a bath, made some food.
Nice.
It's like jokes aside, it's a really interesting study on feminism and and just what.
I'm being genuine. I think it probably is very good. It probably is very good.
It's very bro thing to say, but like it was really good. The ending
Not
was
to
great.
not to sound like an asshole, but this reminds me of the meme in TikTok of a black and white movie from the Isolate
Yeah.
pages.
That is very much it. Yeah. But I think it's really well done, and I was surprised how engaging it was because like you see this woman's daily routine get established right through 2 days. Then as like her life is starting to fall apart, you see like subtle shifts in her routine. Like she drops a spoon, and it's very enthralling for what it is. I don't know, it works for me.
Okay, interesting.
That's pretty much it for me. I did some rewatches like La La Land, amazing. Babylon, amazing.
I had some Oscar rewatches.
Dune.
2 films that were nominated for Oscars last year that finally came out and I watched. Perfect Days, from Wim Wenders. It was nominated for International Film last year. Fucking incredible slice of life movie. Again, very similar to Jeanne Dielman, actually. Just watching this man's daily routine, and it's very like just sublime. Very like just chill. The vibes are great. The soundtrack's good. It's very emotional. This man's just like living his best life. And his routine, like you should see, just makes him happy, and it's a very beautiful movie. I very much recommend it to everyone.
Great.
And another one that got shit release from Neon, film that got nominated last year for animated movie, but is getting released in fucking
Robot
summer.
Dreams, right?
Robot Dreams, yeah. And best way to put this is it's an animated version of Past Lives.
Oh shit!
Sounds painful.
This dog. It's like a world of animals who come to life. The animation is very simple. It's 2D, but I think it works. It's this man who's very lonely, very much a loner, a loser, who gets a robot
like me.
to be. Real, yeah. He buys a robot to accompany him, so he's not lonely anymore. Then something happens with the robot, and he's very sad. And it's just a movie about moving on from past relationships, how past relationships come back into your lives, and how we deal with that. And
So-
this
is Japan, right? Is this Japanese? Yeah.
No, it's Mexican, I think. It's
Oh.
Mexican.
Heyo.
Yeah.
It's basically the opening of Up, but stretched out and good.
Yeah, but very much more nihilistic, I guess.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was surprised about where this movie goes, and it's probably the best use of Earth, Wind, Fire, September in cinema that I've seen lately.
Wow.
It's good, fun movie, but also like it's fun, but it's also painful.
Love that.
You go.
I saw my brother was was watching for the first time the Park Chan-wook trilogy that I've been recommending he watch with his friends. So he watched it with his friends, and I just sat there and watched it with him again. He saw Old Boy in February.
What's the trilogy called?
The Vengeance trilogy. Okay. He saw Old Boy in February, but he saw Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and Lady Vengeance earlier, or over spring break as well. And those are some of my favorite movies in general. Old Boy is just a classic, but Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance is stellar. A good cat and mouse vengeance game there. And then Lady Vengeance is taking the vengeance and kind of pondering over like the consequences of it and how it helps and hurts a lot of the emotional relationships from the victims. So Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, Lady Vengeance, and Old Boy, fantastic early 2000s trilogy from the great Park Chan-wook. Also rewatched The Witch, one of my favorite A24 films. I don't think Jalen liked it as much as me, but I really love The Witch. The Witch is fantastic. And over on My Cup of Tea, we've been rewatching the Apes trilogy. Tonight we're watching War for the Planet of the Apes. But we saw Dawn and Rise earlier this month as well.
Need to rewatch those soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch this then.
Dawn is just Oh, it's so fucking good.
I kind of want to watch like the older ones too, or at least the Tim Burton and the original one.
I was talking to Nathan about that because I think I'm good on the Tim Burton ones. But
dude, you got fucking Paul Giamatti as an orangutan.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to watch that?
Because I didn't like the movie.
It's not good.
No. I remember seeing. I think that was the year 2000. I think I was 4 years old when I saw that in theaters. I think I was in St. Louis at the time too, and I remember being very bored, young Evan. But what else did I watch?
Back to Vengeance trilogy. I am so mad at myself for missing out on Old Boy in a theater when it re-released last year.
Oh, me too. I think that'd have been a great experience.
I haven't seen it. That would have been perfect for the first watch.
Yep.
But
oh, and I rewatched Sicario. This was Jalen's second time watching it. This is like my fifth time, and it still peaked in the new.
Every time I see one of his movies, I'm like, this might be his best.
Yeah, right. I'm like, it's so good. The whole ending. It's like,
I'm really pissed I can't find that $5 Sicario steelbook because I really want to rewatch that movie in 4K.
It's a gorgeous movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just been rewatching some movies with Jalen. That's about it for me. I literally went through everything.
Yeah. I have a few others because of the whole Jonathan Glazer win. I went back to rewatch his first two movies. Setsy Beast with his directorial debut, with Ben Kingsley, a very good crime thriller. The style is there. It's just a bunch of white men just yelling at each other. It's good shit. Ben Kingsley is a fucking freak in that movie. He's so good. What were you saying?
He's better in that or in Shang-Chi?
He's in Shang-Chi.
Yes. Am I right? Isn't Ben Kingsley the freaking weird?
Oh yeah. Mandarin.
Yeah.
Right. He was good in that.
He was fun.
Anyways,
what were you saying?
No, I already forgot it.
Okay. Then I also watched Birth, his second movie with Nicole Kidman. Very much like out there. Basic premise: this woman's husband, Nicole Kidman, her husband dies, and then like a 10-year-old boy comes into her life and claims that he's her husband reborn.
Whoa.
It's a very out there movie and very much like
this comedy
should
horror
not work. It's very like heavy drama.
Okay.
This should not work, but I think Glazer's direction and Kidman's performance really sell it. Surprisingly,
is the son a known actor or just a random kid?
His name is Cameron Bright.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very out there.
Have you seen Under the Skin?
I watched like the first half of it, but wasn't in the mood for it, so I really need to go back and watch it.
I think I should rewatch it. I remember hating it when I saw it the first time. I just did not like it.
But you love Zone of Interest now, right?
I love Zone of Interest.
Yeah.
I love Zone of Interest. I might have to go back and watch it.
I need to go back and watch it too, because I wasn't really vibing with it, but also just...
I saw it in college, and a lot of my friends were like, "Oh, this movie's fantastic." I'm like, I didn't vibe with it. Yeah. Anyways, that's cool. Yeah, I have to head out soon. So, anything else?
Yeah. That's it.
Real quick for me, TV wise, Invincible season 2, part 2 has been really, really good so far. The finale is tonight, which is it's just very fast season, but I'm very excited for Invincible season 2's finale. I think the romance has been great, the action has been unpredictable, and the voice acting is always great on Invincible.
Yeah,
I started the first episode of season 2, but I didn't get back to it. The whole release strategy is so bad.
It was bad, but it'll make for a great binge.
Yeah. I've been doing a really bad job catching up with TV so far.
Me too.
This month at least. I haven't seen the last couple episodes of Shogun.
Oh, that's great.
Started that yet.
Shogun is peak, guys. It's
I know.
Great.
There's so many things. I haven't had Final Fantasy to play.
Oh yeah, me and Josh have been playing Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, and it's quickly becoming my favorite Final Fantasy game.
My favorite Damsel of all time.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. It's funny, Josh, because I was replaying. I talked about replaying Final Fantasy VII, the remake, back in like January and February, and I like love that game. And this game's even better. Like
so much better.
The world is.
And I loved remade. Yeah.
Like the world is huge. The story is so.
Where are you so far?
I'm on chapter 11 now. I just got to chapter 11 last night.
I just finished the Costa del Sol stuff and about to go play the mountain.
Yeah, Costa del Sol took me a while too. I had
so
a lot
much
of fun.
So much fun. The mini games are great. The beach.
I love the mini games. Mini games are fun.
Yeah, it's good times.
Yeah.
The characters are so well written.
Characters are really well written. This is a very like interesting time in like all these characters' lives, and they're adding a couple like nuanced performances that you couldn't really see on your PS1.
Britt Baron, who plays Tifa, like incredible,
fantastic,
incredible. She was also in Glow, which I love that show.
Oh, cool. That was on Netflix, right? The whole woman wrestler thing. Yeah, I think this was the part of the story where I really started to love Tifa. Like once we actually leave Shinra Midgar, I was like, I really like Tifa because the first one mainly is an Aerith kind of like you fall in love with Aerith within Midgar, and then part 2 is like where Tifa gets to shine a little bit more. Same for Barrett and Red 13, like a lot of great characters.
Edgar, there's a talking dog, cat, lion in this game, and he's fucking the coolest thing ever.
Dude, the ship sequence, Josh, with the dancing.
Oh my god.
Peak gaming.
I've never understood what this franchise is about, and I'm still confused to this day.
Well, they're all in
7 is the most like grounded of the series. Like I think if you gave it a shot, Edgar, you would really like it.
You would like 7.
I didn't play the original 7, but remake, like the story just really captivated me and the characters.
I forgot to ask you. So, did you go back and play Crisis Core? Or did you watch a video of Crisis Core?
Like just a recap. Yeah.
Okay. Because that was interesting as well. But yeah, that game is just incredible. And
one more thing before we head out, I just want to mention it. I'm sure we could talk more about it once you guys see it, but I did watch The Fall Guy. This movie is a pure fucking blast. I am notoriously a David Leitch hater. Did not like Deadpool 2.
And you love Bullet Train.
Yeah, Blonde though. I do want to watch that. But wait, am I frozen?
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You were talking about Atomic Blonde. Come on, it's good.
Okay. You guys hear me?
I can hear us. We're good.
Okay. Yeah. So I was really surprised about how much I like this movie. I think this is David Leitch's best work, like by fucking miles. This is the pure heart behind it and the care for the subject matter of like stunt workers and this film crews in general and filmmaking in general. Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, their chemistry is electric. Gosling is just, to me, Gosling is the best, as we all know, and he kills it once again. The action, besides one set piece that I think Edgar watched in a panel, that set piece is not great. But besides that, every set piece really hits. The needle drops are great. It's really fun. Has a lot more heart and care put into it than I thought it would, and it looks great.
That's good to hear. Because I think I'm not the biggest hater of David Leitch's movies. They're very fun. But they're simple fun. Like Deadpool 2 for me is fine. And I actually really like Bullet Train. Bullet Train is just fun for me. I don't think it has a lot of heart to a lot of the characters in his movies.
See, Evan, you're to like probably adore this movie because it's that plus the heart and the chemistry of like their relationship.
And I was nervous because watching the trailers, which have not been great.
Trailers are not great.
I was like, am I really going to vibe with Gosling and Blunt's chemistry? They're phenomenal actors.
Every bad line in the trailer is so much better in the film.
I feel having not seen the movie, I feel like that little bit that they did at the Oscars did a better job at selling their chemistry for the movie than the trailers itself.
Mm-hmm.
For real. Yeah.
But yeah, there's some great wonders in there. It's a really fun time in the movies. It's probably the most fun I've had watching a movie this year.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by it. Can't wait for you guys to see it.
All right, take us out. Evan, where can people find you?
Follow me on Twitter at HarrisEV9, watching all the reality television that I can get. Amazing Race is 36, doing great this year. Survivor 46 is very fun as well. Big Brother Canada is not great, but whatever. Oh, speaking of best shows of the year, X-Men 97, fantastic. So,
do I need to watch the original to watch it?
I watched the original, but it's been so long, and I was going to rewatch it, but then I'm like, nah, it's too much. I don't think you do. I think it explains everything.
It's a sequel series, though, is it? Or does it have recaps?
It's a sequel series, but they talk like it's reboot enough. They talk about what happened already, and it's kind of like a clean slate going on.
I'm so behind on Disney Plus stuff. Like, I didn't watch Echo. I need to watch that. I need to watch Bad Batch.
Bad Batch is peak. You guys are missing out.
I'm good, Bob.
It didn't work for me, but Trey also said that, and season 3 is working for him, so maybe I'll give it a shot.
You guys should. It'll make for a fun binge. Maybe if you're not watching it week to week, I think you can really appreciate the character.
Yeah, I think that was the problem with season 1 for me, is that this is too samey to watch week to week.
Which is fair sometimes. But I think there's a lot of symbolism going on in season 3 as well, which I really like. Also, yeah, that's about it in terms of great shows. But yeah, again, find me on Twitter, HarrisEV9.
Yeah. And go for it.
Oh, sorry. You'd find me at Josh D. Woodbury for, I don't know. Find the podcast at WHFG Podcast on Instagram and Twitter for updates.
Yeah, and you can find me on all social medias at DGORTG. I covered WonderCon this past weekend, so you can see some of my work there. I interview a few people. Makeup artist from The Iron Claw, art supervisor from Loki season 1, another bunch of other people. So yeah, that was fun.
Are those on the website, your interviews?
Yeah, it's on the Cinema Spot right now.
Got it.
So yeah, you can check that out. And just one last thing, I got to see a few clips. One of them was for The Fall Guy, and the other one was for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which was fine. It was cool. And but the one that I liked the best was the one for Abigail. It's just like a scene of like Dan Stevens and like Catherine Newton and like another character.
That movie hit so hard.
Like reacting to like to Abigail, to the little girl like dancing with a corpse, and it's just so much fun. That movie just it feels like all the vibes from Ready or Not, but like amplified in a sense. I'm really excited.
Can't wait.
That's the director's Radio something.
Radio Silence.
Radio Silence. Yeah, they're really cool. But yeah. Yeah, next time, I don't know what we're doing next time, but I guess
we're busy.
Yeah.
We're back for April stuff.
We haven't even announced our winners.
It's coming.
Yeah, we'll do it eventually.
We could do a quick stream. That's fine.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, but yeah, heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
It does indeed.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.